Love it when it works on the first try.
Oh, so good.
We're back. This is SANDCAST Beach Volleyball with Bourne and Travis Mewhirter. We're in the studio together. It's going to be a little bit rare as the season goes on.
Yeah, exactly.
So I always appreciate these times. We got the champ, Seain Cook, a.k.a. Kenny Powers, a.k.a. Cam Smith. You were everywhere last weekend.
Oh, yeah, I got Cam Smith on. I still don't know who that is. I need to look him up.
Golfer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch the Masters?
I did, yeah.
Is the Australian with the flow and the
mullet,
mustache?
yeah.
I was watching and I was like, Sean, like, you're here and you're there. You're everywhere.
Should have taken up golf.
He made it a little more money.
Yeah, just a little bit more. Yeah.
Man, like going through the prize money of the Masters it's like, I'm happy for
depressing.
the golfers, but it hurts.
Yeah. Last place is like 60 grand or something.
Yeah. I mean, Rory
Last place.
getting second. I think Rory took home like 1.4.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a good day. What'd you take home from Panama City?
I still don't know. Like going plus, or I think it was 1,600. I think it was 3,200 divided between the two of us.
Okay.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good
for volleyball,
It's good
but-
for volleyball.
Yeah.
But in comparison,
Not when you said 1.2, but
Right.
a few seconds before.
You got, see, Rory got 1.2. You got 1.6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a couple of zeros.
Yes. Yeah, a little bit less than the golfers out there. But yeah.
That's actually kind of surprising that you don't play golf because you grew up in Scotland. That's the motherland.
Yeah, I mean, I went to a driving range maybe twice, and I was like, this is great. Like, just dinging balls as far as I could. And then I think I went to like a golf course once, and I was like, nah, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it just takes too long. By the end, I was like, oh, guys, don't worry, I'll just drive the buggy.
Yeah.
I'll be your beer boy. We're good. This is totally fine. Yeah, not into golf at all. I'm slowly learning though, because it seems like kind of like all top athletes are kind of into golf.
It's like you can play a sport, but you don't have to like try really hard and run really fast or anything. You just kind of, it's basically an excuse to get out. Well, you're having a kid now, so
Yeah.
you have any excuse to go leave for 4 hours and just hang with the boys.
Yeah.
You might,
I love golf.
you might love golf all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings? Like, I don't know a whole lot about your family life.
Yeah, I have one sister.
Okay. She a volleyball player?
No.
No. How did you get into volleyball in Scotland?
My dad played like indoors in Scotland in the national league there, and he tells me he played me on the national team, but I've seen no evidence. But I used to watch. I'd go to almost every one of his games, and we used to go to Florida like on our vacation, our holidays, and during the summer. And my dad was like playing beach volleyball there, and I'd like try and join in, but I wouldn't be allowed because in Florida back then they were super strict about hands.
Okay.
I just remember coming in and hand setting, and like the ball was like just a little bit, and they're like, nope, and I'm like, I don't know, I was like 10.
Yeah, right.
And they were like, nope, and I was like, I don't love beach volleyball. Yeah. So I played a whole bunch of rugby growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I loved rugby. I did a lot of that, and then I was like slowly like kind of getting into volleyball in and out. And then then there was like a year where I was like, which one am I going to do? Because I was like Scottish development for rugby, Scottish development for volleyball. I was like, I'm super small, so I'm going to pick volleyball because I was a libero at the start. And so yeah, that's how my pathway kind of started.
That's
You're not that short now, though. How tall are you?
6'5".
6'5".
If there's any blockers out there. No, I'm like 6'3", I think,
Yeah, okay.
on a good day.
That would have been my guess.
Yeah.
But you
But
started
now
off
like
as libero.
now I'm the perfect build for a rugby player. Like a little chunky, but I didn't grow until I was like 18.
Oh,
I had like one big summer.
Yeah. So you got all the skills down. That's usually the best athletes that you find, though, that are real skilled and then have their growth spurt later and learn all the fine motor skills first.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like one of my first things I went to, I was like 4th string libero, and they were like, there's a basketball hoop, just going like pass the ball into it, and there was like all of the games were going on. And I'm over in the corner just dunk, cool, ball, dunk. And I was like, that was me for the day.
Dang.
They were like, we don't care about you. It was great. So much fun.
That sounds great.
And then I kind of like started doing more beach, and I actually left high school when I was 16 to go to college and join the GB program. I was like, my mom taught the school I went to.
Okay.
I was like, Mom, I don't think high school's the thing for me. Like, I'm not learning anything. This is a waste of time. So let's go to college.
Uh-huh.
And so I went to college, and I moved like 8 hours away from my family. I moved to the University of Bath, where the GB program was.
What's GB?
Great Britain.
Okay.
So it was like back when it was a thing. Like it was like Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland. And I moved there because I was like, this is where beach volleyball is. I want to do beach volleyball now. So I moved there. And I tried to get in the squad that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's quite the winding journey.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I can't
Wow.
imagine that beach volleyball is a huge thing out there. Because I know that, just talking with, the Bayo brothers and Issa and Freddie, who play for England now, and they're like, it is tough to find people to train with.
Yeah. I mean, so like, it's actually funny. I where I played in Scotland was right next to the old course in St Andrews.
Really?
So there's like a super windy beach right next to the golf course.
Yeah.
Sand's super shallow. And one year there was like this guy, he played a bunch for like British stuff, like in the national tour and stuff, back when there was a little bit of money. And one year he was just like, yeah, we're going to play together. And I was like, sweet, I don't have to play with my dad anymore. But I was notorious. I'd be playing with dad, and like in my head, like my dad's like the best ever athlete, because like I'd watch him all the time.
Right.
And like we'd be playing, I'd pass the ball, it wouldn't be perfect. I'm like, Dad, go! And like we'd have my mum come to events with us just so she could like lead the timeout, because me and my dad would be straight fighting. But then I started playing with him, and like I kind of like got going. But
Yeah.
I still shout at my dad if I ever play with him.
How many events did you play for Scotland? Like, did you play?
Yeah, I did some for Scotland. Not too many. Some European stuff, a lot like zonals, like our zone is like small countries division of Europe. So we did a few of those, and then we did like the Commonwealths. We played Qatar as well. Qatar was like a big one.
Okay.
We went there, we were like, we need a really solid training camp, and there's an event there. We'll have some really good teams we can train with. The reserve list, we were pretty deep on it, but we were like, if we get in, that'd be amazing. But if not, we have like the best teams, so we can like come train with us.
Right.
Yeah.
So we went there and we ended up getting in, but we played Billy and Ryan,
Okay.
and they just lit us up. like
Ryan's a matchup problem.
yeah, like my blocker was like 6'5", 6'6", and I was like, my defense wasn't quick enough to be like Billy, because I'd be like, go sit one place and just chip the other place, and I'm like, we can't do this. We have to serve as hard as we can, take on Ryan. And then he'd like just kind of like saunter in and then just straight over my block, and I was just like, So I'm sitting middle and just kind of trying to hope, but they kind of showed us up.
Yeah, probably not too many 7-foot blockers running around Scotland.
I think none, absolutely none. Which is kind of why I'm like here and like really pushing everything over here, because I think the route to play World Tour for Scotland is like, I could go to like every single World Tour event, and like before when it was country quotas, I'd never have to do that. But like now, the other guy that I played with, like we went to the Commonwealths together. He has four daughters now.
Wow.
Yeah. We were at the qualifier. We were at the qualifier event.
He's out.
Yeah. We were at the qualifier event in Cyprus, and before we went, he's like, "Look, like my baby is due any day. So like if I get the call, I'm gone.
Right,
I'm not staying." I was like, I totally get it. Like I understand. Like I was like, I hope this doesn't happen. But like if you leave, I totally get it.
Yeah.
And he didn't have his baby until he got back, and we qualified. It was great, but. Yeah, he's 4 babies deep now. Yeah.
So are you basically the lone Scottish player?
There's a couple guys trying to do it, like because the Commonwealth Games are still going.
Right.
I think a couple played Stad maybe.
Okay.
In the qualifier, but there's just for what I'd like to achieve, just no one can like put in the time like you can put in time here.
Yeah, exactly. Limited opportunity.
Yeah.
So what is your goal then?
So it's kind of like continue pushing forwards. Like I did CBVA, a lot of CBVA last year. Trying to get into the AVP stuff, and then like try and see that progression.
With your like I don't know, green card, all that kind of stuff. You're good for AVP.
Yeah, I have a green card.
Okay.
So my wife, she's from like Santa Barbara, Carpinteria.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
Married 2-ish years ago.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And then, so that allows me to play AVP, and then kind of like if I hit these stepping stones, it's like transition to be a USA athlete.
Oh, nice.
Um,
And then that's a 2-year.
yeah, so
2
I
years you
need to
can't
get,
play
I need to
World
get my
Tour.
passport, and then well, I'm currently speaking to FIVB stuff.
Is it 2 years from when you get your
Yeah,
passport? Oh,
yeah.
brutal.
Yeah,
So you can't start the process yet?
no.
Oh,
But I was like speaking to the IBVPA
yeah.
because they have like indoor and beach are the same, but like an indoor player like Wilfredo Leon, he changed from Cuba to Poland,
Right.
but he can go make millions playing indoors.
Right.
Whereas like if I'd like, well, you'd like to think the World Tour would pay you really well,
Yeah.
but I have to like sit out like almost fully. So it's
Right.
like working with them to see if I can like work with FIVB and see, not just for me, but for like
Yeah.
other people to make the transition a little like smoother
More
and find some more
reasonable.
parity for like indoor and beach athletes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand why it's you can't just transfer
Oh, yeah, yeah.
federations willy-nilly, but that does seem extensive, especially since you haven't represented Scotland in like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, the last
At
time
least.
was I think it was 20, like Commonwealth Games was like 2018.
Yeah, so I feel like you paid your dues. That was 4 years ago.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I waited time. Well, I was still playing indoors, and I was like at that time I was like Commonwealth Games was great. If I go back, like I can't just go back and compete. It's like to medal would be the
Right.
thing. But we were actually where you just played, right? You were in Coolangatta.
Yeah.
That's where the Commonwealth Games were. And this coming year, they're in Birmingham in England. And I'm like, I don't really need to go to Birmingham. It's a cool city probably. But
Yeah.
so yeah, trying to move onwards and upwards.
Yeah, get that process started.
Yeah.
Is there any light at the end of the tunnel, like in terms of how soon you can get the passport to start that clock?
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least?
So I have to wait since I got married. It's like 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, but that's because I'm married. That's quick.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So maybe another.
I have to wait like another year and a half
Oh, Jesus.
Just to get the passport?
just to get a passport.
Just
yeah.
to start your 2-year clock.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal.
Man.
Well, the good thing is
Sorry,
you came
Sean.
to the U.S. and we have the AVP tour,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So like definitely like the AVP is like a really nice outlet, and
Yeah.
it also gives me like to be like, is this? Am I good enough to make that stepping stone?
Right. Yeah.
Like because I would like just jumping in the deep end and being like, oh, this is great. I'm competing for USA. It would be, I think, naive of me to be like without.
Yeah. If you don't
Going-
climb the
yeah,
ladder.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to look at it. Not that it'd be wrong. Like it'd be, I'd say get on the world tour as soon as possible if you were able
Yeah.
to do that. But it's almost a blessing because people spend so much time wasting their time trying to get on the world tour when they haven't even proved themselves domestically.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've all seen that happen, and that's a big money investment. Whereas AVP, you're investing a lot of time training, and there's opportunity costs and whatnot, but you're not investing that much to play just an AVP tour, especially now that they're paying for hotels and travel stipends, right?
Yeah.
And health insurance, I believe.
That I don't know.
I heard there's health insurance.
Yeah, there's some form of health insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
So
cool.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's very nice.
It might be a blessing in disguise.
I
Although
think
3 more
it's-
years is a long time.
It is a long time.
That's
but
excessive.
It is, but I think it's like kind of like the way I'm looking at this season as well. Is like there's progression there, and it's like if I can hit
Yeah.
those targets, then it's meaningful instead of just being
Yeah.
all in and kind of like a crazy like investment.
If you're in any other country in the world, you've found your wife in another country, you have no domestic tour unless it's Brazil, really, or I guess Germany.
And even Brazil's tour, like they had so many changes. There was a boycott. I don't know if it's still going on, but
Yeah, I heard
most of the
it's-
Brazilian players boycotted because it was just the way they made the new system. The players just hated it.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
All the top players sat out. I was talking to one of my friends who lives over there, Tori Paranagua. She was like, imagine if A players won an AVP. Like that's legitimately what was happening in Brazil. So the AVP is a robust domestic tour.
Wait,
When
you
look
said
at,
8 players?
like if like A-rated players,
Oh, A-rated players.
like bad, like rec level players were
We're
winning
winning? Why? Because other
because all the top players.
weren't going?
I don't know what the exact changes were in Brazil and what happened, but they changed the format of the matches. It was, I think, only a handful of teams were in the main. Like they made the main draws really small, and so like a lot of the players boycotted. I don't know if anything was resolved, but I know at the beginning of their season it was kind of a disaster.
Yeah.
So the AVP, I think, is hands down the best domestic
going
tour.
in the right direction, you seem to be in the right place.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You found your lady in the right state too.
Yeah.
Any other state in the U.S. and it's a little
Yeah, well,
difficult.
my two things were not an American and not a volleyball player, and she's both.
Over two.
Yeah,
Good job,
must
Sean.
really love her, you know.
yeah, that's a good test.
Yeah, really sweet little test. Yeah.
And she's from Santa Barbara, right? Or
Yeah,
Carpinteria?
yeah, that way. Yeah.
That's like money.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
a great place.
it's so beautiful there.
Yeah.
Yeah, really beautiful.
When did you move here?
Right at the height of COVID, like in 2020, right? I don't know. It's all
Okay.
blurred into one.
So like weirdly, kind of oddly good timing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you started low. You don't want to start too high.
Yeah.
You had only
Yeah, the
up
trajectory.
to go.
I mean, getting over, like, away from the volleyball was, like, pretty hit or miss. It was kind of crazy. But, yeah, for the volleyball, it was, like... I think I came over and I was, like, in the middle of summer, I was like, where is everyone? No, why is no one training? This is nuts. And then, like, I think just this year, like, starting to see all the foreign teams start coming back.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is, like, the real Hermosa.
Right,
like, all
right,
the
right.
players are coming here now to train.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been, like, definitely, like, a, like, development.
Slow progression
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Or what, you showed up, you're like, wait.
Yeah,
What is
I
all
thought everybody played volleyball here. Right. It's like there's no one out.
Yeah. Well, there was literally no one out there.
Yeah.
Then.
I had a couple friends who moved here in the like late summer, early fall of 2019.
Yeah.
And this was before COVID was even a thing that people had heard about. And then they're here and they're expecting like a full summer, and then COVID hits, and it's just like their California dreams are just crushed.
Yeah.
Half of them moved back, but you moved like when it was already kind of going, so you kind of understood
I
what you're
was
getting
like,
into.
this is how life's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah.
That's heavy. That was gnarly.
I think the first when I first met you, I think you were coaching Delaney and Katie.
Yeah. I'd come over and because we'd stay up in Santa Barbara, I'd do my indoor season, then come over for basically as long as I could to see Courtney. I was coaching at East Beach, and I was down here and I was doing some stuff for Kay and Delaney when they were playing together.
Yeah. And is that so? Do you just coach like indoor and beach?
I coached indoor last year, and I've kind of managed to slowly stop doing indoor so much.
Okay.
Although I like did indoor for way longer. Like beach is a bit more fun to coach.
Yeah.
I think like indoor is good if I liked coaching like the higher level like boys, because you can like kind of in the nicest way slap them about a bit and be like, hey, come on, like what's going on here?
Yeah.
But beach has been amazing. Like beach has been so good. Like working with East Beach up in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
And now I'm like MB Sand with Mike and Patty and Harvard Westlake high school stuff.
Is Harvard Westlake beach?
Yeah, it's beach.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
they just started their beach program this year.
Okay.
And I'm the head coach, and I have Josephine Kramer as my assistant.
Nice.
So it's a nice little like start of a program. It's
Yeah.
great.
How did you get hooked up with Harvard Westlake?
I can't actually. Oh, it was Carissa. So
Okay.
Carissa was at MB Sand, and she now has a job with, I believe it's with Amazon.
Yeah. She's up in Santa Barbara now, right?
Yeah, she's
Carissa Cook's working with Amazon?
yeah.
Yeah.
She's gone.
But she still plays.
Oh, she's still playing.
She's still playing, but I think she got this like really nice job,
wow.
of like she's like computing and sport. Like I think the job was like
Okay, gotcha.
teaching Alexa how to speak
Whoa.
sports through coding.
Whoa.
But I think that
it's
might
her
be
jam.
it's like perfect. But I think it might be dumbing the job down just a little bit. So she was like, because I think she played with like the program lead for like women's volleyball at Harvard Westlake, and she was like, "There's this job. Do you want to interview?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll interview." So I ended up interviewing, and went well. So
They heard your accent and were like, yes.
I don't know. The accent seems to kind of go against me when I'm coaching. I've developed my California coaching voice. I'm like, oh, you didn't understand me, and then I kind of like turn on a bit more Californian, and they're like, oh, that's what you said. Yeah. So I've had to like cultivate that. Yeah.
I remember at the mini
I'd like to
tournament
hear
last
that.
year when you played, you and James beat Cayman Theo. And Casey Patterson was just like, he's digging the balls off his chest. He's speaking in tongues. No one can understand him.
yeah.
I love this guy.
Yeah, I remember like I got lit up in the chest. Yeah, it wasn't all roses though. We got destroyed by you guys. I think twice, right? I think we played.
Yeah,
you.
maybe.
Yeah, twice. It was pretty.
I forgot that you guys would have played each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
James is, what's he doing?
Back to indoor.
Back to indoor.
Oh, back to indoor.
Yeah.
He hurt himself, right? At one
I'm
point.
that bad a partner.
Or he just
He's just like, no, wait.
couldn't jump in the sand.
Yeah, no, he I think he had a recurrent injury from indoor, and they needed to, like, I think it was almost like break his heel again to
re-break
line
it?
it up, and he had screws in there, and like just complete restructure because he was off that for like a long time, like maybe 6 months.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so it was a long time, and now he's. Yeah,
But he
he's,
took an indoor contract overseas? Setting, right? Isn't he?
Yeah,
in
he's
Germany.
saying. I
I think he's going to Germany.
Yeah, I think he's going to Germany, but he's been in the US gym, like getting reps as a setter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I think he's going away next season.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I've never played indoor, but it seems like if you get hurt, going back indoors is the tough.
Yeah, no, I would go the opposite way.
I
Indoor.
figured sand would be kind of nicer.
I've managed to avoid most injuries. I think the only thing I did was like I blew up my serratus.
Yeah.
It was like black and blue.
Oh, really?
But then they turned me in a setter. So I was like in training, I was getting a set, and I was like, this is an outside hitter's dream.
Right. Yeah.
Like, this is
yeah.
great. I just run an offense. It's brilliant. I
Perfect.
could hit like this. So like in hitting lines, I just run like quicks in the middle.
Huh.
And I remember playing like some European like club champs, and like the board were there, and they were like, "Why are you not playing? Like you're hitting balls so well."
Right.
And I'm like, "Cause this is my range of motion.
Just
I can't get a full.
Just the quick
so I just
little
have
middle
like
bounce.
yeah. I'm like, set me over the net. It's gonna look
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Make sure there's no block.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like only doing warm, but that's my only injury from indoors really.
You ever miss it? You pretty good with beach.
Sometimes I miss it. Like playing indoors is just different. Like you get to express like how powerful you are. Like, and my job was like the guy that passed and just got to be an idiot at the net. And like sometimes it paid off, but like there's flashbacks and nightmares of like these Russian guys just one arm calling blocking me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if like I like really miss it. Like sometimes like it would be great to like go in and play a match.
Yeah.
But beaches,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I'm kind of... I don't miss indoor.
Yeah.
Like, I played it for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's just... I miss the camaraderie, the team, like... Because especially on a college team, high school, whatever, you build some really long-term friendships and whatnot. But, like, national team and then dealing with coaches where, like, you're just kind of a pawn.
Yeah.
Whereas beach is, like, it's all on you. You're the coach, you're the this, you're the that, you're everything. I just feel like it separates me more. It allows me to separate myself more by, like, checking all the boxes. Whereas someone indoor can be like, I'm not going to do anything but just hit a high ball. And they're, like, the star and, like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
it's not for me.
There's the autonomy of beach. Like you said, you get to pick your coach, you get to pick your team, what tournaments you play. That's just, you can't find that really in any other kind of team sport. It is technically a team sport
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
And you got building your team sort of with Logie. You, Logie, and Hayden have a funny little love triangle
Yeah,
going
what's going on there?
Yeah. So we were traveling back from Panama, and I'm like, hey, did you speak with John? Like, did you like kind of like let him know? Because like I put on social media like, oh, I'm going to Austin.
Yeah.
Because I knew I wasn't. And I was like, you did say it to John, right? Because I don't want like repercussions. And he was like, nah, I need to message him. So he messages him like making sure like he's like, we're all good, right? We did really well at Laguna, and like we were just like, this was great, and we were speaking about it. I mean, I don't have enough points to play main draw, and like he's ranked pretty highly now, like maybe top 20, right? Ish, maybe, I don't know, something like that. And so like I was like, yeah, go Like, if you can come play events for me and steal some of John Hayden's genius,
Yeah, just tell him to
that'd be great.
write it down.
He just churns out Olympians, John Hayden does. So like,
it's that easy.
yeah, it's that easy. So I'm like, yeah, go do that, and then come back, and then we'll just
The problem with John was, like in hindsight, after playing with him for like 5 years, he didn't teach me anything about defense, and now I'm split blocking. Like, I wish he would have been giving me defense information the whole time. Instead, he sees me digging a few balls. He's like, "The hell are you digging balls for? You're never gonna play defense." It's for after you, John. Yeah. It's for after you. Oh man, but no, it's gonna make Logan better too. You know, just the discipline that you have to play with Hayden, because it's a pretty intricate system. I mean, not that complicated, but you have to come down for your block and open up and be ready to hit, and just like the footwork, and John works on all the small stuff, being able to set accurately, timing sets, like not necessarily having a call with Hayden. It's more like you have to listen to his voice. He's like, the louder I am, the faster we're going, basically.
Yeah, we kind of just started, like, he came back, he was in Nashville for like a week, and he was like, the conditions were rough. I was like, yeah, but you were out there, man. It's great for you. Good. And he came back, and he was like, we're talking about like setting, and it was exactly it. It was like the intonation of voice. Like that's the difference.
At first you're like, am I really gonna know?
Yeah.
But then it's actually better.
Yeah, because then you like dig a ball, and you're like, go, like send me, and you can feel it, and it's.
I even try to tell really Trevor that sometimes. Well, because a lot of time it's a bang play. You're like facing another direction. The guy tells you what set he wants, fast or whatever, 1, 2, whatever you call it. You still want to time it off them, right? If they're going fast, because you can if you can see them and they're in front of you, you're gonna just put it on their shoulder, not necessarily just set that exact set. But if you can't see them exactly and you hear their voice, you can actually track them you can track their voice without looking at them. Yeah, which is huge for me. I thought that was like, it worked way better than I would have thought when he first told me. I'm like, I'm supposed to know what set to give you based on the volume of your voice. Like what? But really, you can just hear him. It's just like something.
Even in track. like a stadium court.
It was a little tough with the music in the last game. Yeah. But like it's like also like when you like your partner like digs, especially like a cut shot, and you can kind of like feel him like closing to you. Yeah. And you just like do the set. It's like not really one you've worked on, but you just felt it. Right. It's kind of like that, just like putting a voice on it almost.
Yeah. Just make noise.
Yeah. I'm just like imagining a situation where like Hayden doesn't ever call for like a lob. He runs everything pretty fast, but if it's really loud, it's like lob. It's like, what do I do? Like you're yelling really loud. Just send it, but you're telling me to set it high.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's almost better to be like lob, 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 lob.
Yeah, like, I normally like just say it like 100, like say it as many times as I can.
You're just gonna make noise.
Yeah. The higher, the quicker the beeping, the faster the sound. Yeah. But yeah, no, we've been doing that, and then like, kind of, he's been working with Evie a little bit, and like working on like that option stuff. Like I kind of like, I'm like, the less work I can do, the better. So if I can pass really great and you can just option.
That's Hayden's whole game.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's basically me as well. I'm just like, all right, how lazy can I be? Like, here you go do it. Yeah. And so like, I think it just fits kind of nicely for him.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between an option and hit it on two.
That
wasn't an option, dude.
Yeah.
Hayden does a lot of the hit it on twos. If it's possible. But he's not going to leave you with a block. Like, he's seeing the defense. Defense is late. There's space here. He knows you're supposed to open. He hits the spot. Your arms ready. Back, boom, kill. But it's a lot of work.
Yeah, like look, we've like starting to get a bit more precise. Like if I'm like running something, like really trying to find and like guide it to, like like you're saying, like there's an open position. Yeah. So it's been good, and like kind of like learning from John via a proxy. Yeah.
Are you working with Evie too?
No. I've just been to a couple of his sessions just because Logan like needed a guy, and so I think I've been to like 1 or 2 of his sessions. I work with Mark Fishman quite a lot. Okay. Mm-hmm. On the sand a lot with him, so that's been great. He's been good. Yeah. And then I think like it just flowing between coaches. Like last season was like kind of just dotting around. Yeah. trying to like steal everyone's information
Yeah, right.
and
That's
be
the way
like,
to go.
oh, this is how they play. Okay, got a little bit of that. Yeah.
Is your goal though to have like a full-time coach, or more just to kind of absorb information from everybody and kind of run it?
Yeah, no, Fish has been great. Like, the stuff we do is like a lot of passing and like developing my offense, because like from indoor, I think the angles I'm making are like sometimes too big. Like, and I'm trying to access a part of the court that's not there.
Right.
So his stuff's been great, and like I'll probably stick with him for the foreseeable future.
Fishman, he was at practice today. His brain, you could just tell was a numbers guy, or is a numbers guy. Like,
Yeah,
he's so analytical.
The
like,
first day I showed up, like, how did I end up seeing him? Oh, like, Theo invited me to one of the USA sessions.
Oh, like a few years ago?
I think it was like,
like
was
a
it
year?
last? Yeah,
Like last year?
quite a while
Yeah.
ago. Yeah, like
Yeah.
last year, and I think like Pat was there and Fish was there, and then they ended up like putting me kind of like being like, oh, there's James, he's a big blocker, like that'd be great for you.
Yeah.
And like the first session I had with Fish, he's like talking about these numbers, and like I just come from indoors.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, so this, and I'm just like, the whole time I was like, could you just like slow it down,
Yeah.
clarify,
Yeah.
and like we'll still be in sessions, and
Yeah.
like we'll be doing offense, and then all of a sudden it'll be like, yeah, we need to do this, because he's just seen like one little thing that wasn't quite right.
Yeah.
But he's been great, and yeah,
It's
like,
cool.
yeah.
It's cool to see someone come in with a kind of different approach and perspective on the sport. Like, yeah, my brain can only absorb like 10% of the information at a time, but it's super fascinating for sure.
Yeah, yeah. He keeps me in like where I'm hitting you with a fire hydrant, and I'm like, yeah. I'm just like, oh, geez, like this is so much. Yeah, yeah. That's been good, and like, Courtney's like family friends with Todd Rogers. And that's probably actually the reason why, I got over the American and volleyball thing. Because she's friends with him.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
That's why she was in.
Yeah. And I actually had a couple of conversations with him, like, about Fish and, like, the stuff that he can bring to it. So that was really helpful as well.
It's fitting that Fishman helped coach the professor. The guy who could take in that information at that level, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he was off the beach for a while. I hadn't seen him coaching anyone, and then he was coaching Zana and Chrissy, and then pretty much Zana and whoever Zana was with.
Yeah.
And then now he's with Schwengel and Berkey. He's with you and Jamesy.
Yeah, Logan now as well.
And now Logan, yeah.
Because he moved out here full time now.
Yeah, he moved from Connecticut to here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's down the street.
Yeah.
I know he's here now. I never knew he left.
He wasn't here before.
Okay.
He was East Coast full time before, right?
Yeah, yeah, he lives in Connecticut, and then
Connecticut,
he's now here. That's all I know.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't get him like the going back and forth bit. I was here after all.
Yeah. We've been lucky enough to get invited to a barbecue or two at his place, which is
His house is legit. We were there for this.
It's a good time.
Was it the women's semis?
the gold, I thought,
Was
wasn't
it
it?
the gold? And it was like,
Yeah, the April's gold medal match down in his basement.
was like
Basically a
Sweet
movie
spot.
theater.
Oh, jeez.
he has like this massive TV, and you're like, that's a big TV.
That's a nice TV.
And then
I want to
and
do
then,
a film session
and
in his
then-
house, which
and
I'm
then-
sure he's going to listen and will totally let us do.
and then down comes like the theater screen over the top of the TV, and you're like,
Oh, over the TV.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay. Like, here we go, we're doing
Damn,
it.
that's a nice TV.
Yeah, no, we're not
gonna watch
using that tiny little thing. We're using this. And it was like, it just came down, and it was like, we did video in there. It was David Lee and I. We were in there, like, and it just.
You did a full film session.
Yeah,
we
we
need
did
the.
some
You need
video
the.
stuff.
Does he have a laser pointer?
No, that's a good idea. No, I need like, so he's out there like.
That'd be sweet.
But yeah.
Dude, I forgot you played with D. Lee.
Yeah, I played D-Lee, Manhattan Open. So close.
You guys had a good
Yeah.
run. It was that bracket was pretty stacked.
Yeah, we had the Porter brothers that I played like in training like a couple years before, like when I was coming in and out, and I was like pretty nervous because back then I'd been an indoor player, and I was like, these guys can like move the ball around, they run an offense, they're super crisp, and I was like, this is gonna be like a big challenge. But we managed to get past them. Like D-Lee was like just swatting everything.
He blocks balls.
Then we played Cal Ratty and Jeff Samuels, and I was like, I know Jeff can sky. Like Cal Ratty, like he's pretty solid. Like I think he's a really solid indoor player as well.
Yeah,
I think that's what
good grass player too.
Yeah, so I was like, David Lee better be playing some good volleyball because I'm not going to be carrying him here. And then we got Robbie and Hagen in the final, and I like just my shots were just all over the place. Like I was missing the back line by like this much, and Hagen was just sitting on really nice angles that I wasn't quite beating him on, and yeah, they got the better of us. And
They were on one though. I mean, they played really good that whole day. When you guys played them as good as anyone, and it was like, what, 17 and 19 or something?
yeah,
that?
we got really close. I think that was the most frustrating bit. But it was nice. We had Mike Dodd in our corner, and they had Sinjin in theirs.
Wow.
I remember watching that.
Yeah. It was pretty. It was cool. Especially having Mike like in our corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that, having Dodd as a coach? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Like, I spoke with Mike because I ended up coaching at MB Sand, and like I said to him, without that coaching, like I don't think I'd have been playing volleyball because just like working and like trying to find stuff. So I was like, I'm super thankful for like the opportunities they've given me with work. But Mike's been amazing. Like he talked about like you going around and doing video with him during COVID and stuff, and like I'm going around and doing video with him, and I'm like the stuff he talks about, you're just like.
He makes it seem so simple.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Like, why did I not even think? He's like, well, why are you not standing there? And you're like, the ball went there. You're right. Why wasn't I there?
The ball goes here, you just stand over here.
Yeah. Oh. And you're like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so easy.
If the set moves, you should move. Like,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's been great, and he's come down to like a couple sessions, and like he'll say something, and you're like, I'm such an idiot. Like he just is like so chill about it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you just come around here, you do this, and you're like, okay, got it. We'll try and make it work.
It's nice to hear from someone that simplifies defense, because like for me, I'm very comfortable at the net, just the speed of it and the way everything happens. But in the back, I'm like, there's so much space. There's so many options for me to do. At the net, I don't have enough time to think. In the back, there's way too much time to think, and it just messes with me. I'm like, I'm going to go here. I'm going to fake a little, and then I'm going to stand. I'm like, I leaned that. Oh, now I'm too late. Damn it. That was way too much going on. When I could have just like stood here the whole time and then just watched where it went and then just reacted.
And that's like his big thing. He's like, it comes to you more often than you think.
Right.
And you're like, oh, yeah. And then you watch back like a good game, and you're like, I barely moved.
Yeah, right.
And you'll do like just 2 steps fall over, you had it, and you're like, oh, yeah, he's on to something.
Make the other team hit the lines, and then you clap and
then meanwhile you'll have like Paya walk past and like say something, and you're like, oh yeah, I just should have thought of that as well. Like, but she's like not super watching, but she just walk past and be like, yeah, no, you need to, and you're like, yeah, you're right. Or she'll be like,
you want an espresso?
Yeah. Or like, what were you thinking on this play, Sean? And you're like, oh no, I wasn't.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I'm so dumb. But no, they've been great, and like going around their house is like always like awesome.
Yeah, they're super cool.
Yeah, so nice.
Well, you've settled in a couple of years. I mean, you're working with 2 of the best players of all time. Todd Rogers was like one of your first contacts. Mark Fishman.
Yeah.
Like, pretty solid intro to California.
I think it's like kind of a fairy tale. I'll speak to my dad, and my dad like loves volleyball. Like he took a sabbatical from work, and he went around like all the World Tour events, like scoring them.
No way.
So he like did all the World Tour events.
Oh, super cool.
And I'm like, yeah, Dad, like, I just like, I was in training with like Trevor, Jake, telling him, he's like freaking out, and he's like, oh, it's amazing. I'm like, oh, I'm going around Mike Dodd's house later. He's like, what? Had coffee with Todd, and like just hung, and he's like freaking out. So he's coming over for like the birth of the baby, but he's like, I'm also like, hey Mike, like if my dad sees you, can you just be like cool with him? He's gonna fangirl. But yeah, because like I was like every time like I'm meeting someone new, I'm like having my little fangirl moment, and I'm like, I've got to play against them now. Like I got to like try and like quell this, like, oh my god, like because it's like just like consistently happens.
Yeah,
like,
that's so funny.
Yeah,
I remember when you came to that one practice, it was like, I don't think I had seen you play before that, but I was like, oh shit, like this is some Scottish national team guy, like he's legit, like. But I didn't realize that you really didn't have that much experience playing against, I guess, players of that caliber. At that practice, you were killing it.
Yeah,
I think you guys, I don't know what the final scores were, but you guys might have won, right?
Right at the end, Theo decided that he was a blocker.
Yeah. Right. So they came in and they won.
Oh, and right at the end, we were like doing the game stuff.
Man.
And he was like, I was like, all right, like like I work with a sports psych, and my big sports psych thing is like I love my like blocker serving, running through, getting a block. That's like the perfect play for me. I did nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, yeah, like this is the play. So he'd serve, run through, douche, and I'm like, oh, amazing. Yeah, buddy, do it again. Let's go. And like, I think that's like part of my like, you know, when I'm shouting really loud.
Yeah.
Every time I shout super loud, I've done absolutely nothing. Because I'm like, I have all this energy. I was about expending the play, but like he just started an ace or he just made a block, so I'm just gonna go nuts.
Yeah.
And that's like it seems to work.
It's a good teammate.
Yeah, like just all about the partner.
I
Yeah.
remember in Panama City, you guys were playing next to us at the same time. I think we were playing Ferrari and Brian, and you like screamed. Just let out like a just primal roar, and I looked over and I was like, "Tim, like what happened over there?" Because Tomas hit a free ball out of bounds.
Oh yeah. Well, okay, like yeah, I'm a bit of a dick on court, but like it's when like somebody comes in and like they do like try to do like a sneaky on two or something and it goes out. I'm just like I'm gonna let them know like they messed up here.
Yeah.
And like the buildings behind us. They'd catch the echo sometimes.
So it came
so like
back
it
to
started being a little like competition with myself, being like, and I'm like, yeah, I got that was a good one. That was a great one. Yeah. But yeah, he dug trying to go for the baseline into the wind and it just like bobbled out and like I wasn't gonna get it if it was in, so I was like, yeah, that was a good one.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love that energy. I bet Logan loves it too.
Yeah, he loves it. Like he's all about it. And like in the final, I was really struggling. Like in the first set, we were down. Like I think I remember looking at the score. It was like 16-8 in the first, and in the second we were down like 8-4 maybe. And he's like, "Come on, man! Like you need this energy. Like where's the energy?" And he like kind of was like faking it a little bit for me to like start like vibing off of.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need it. And then like it's slowly like I was like, all right, we got this. And I started shouting again, and like the energy like it worked. And it came back in the third. And it was a nice little finish.
Tough to find that energy too. That was what, your 5th match of the day?
Yeah, 5th match of the day. We were on this like the first day. You must have been the same. 2 games in 12 hours.
2 games. Yeah, we just the worst part was we just sat there.
Yeah,
Like
we were done by 11.
Yeah.
We were done by 11, and we didn't leave the sand because they made us ref. We were off the sand after sunset, like at 8 p.m.
Yeah. So it was a 52 team tournament that did pool play, and they were just adamant that they were going to get to the round of 16 on the first day. And so we play our first 2 matches of pool. We were done at, I think, 1:30, and we were like, there are courts that are 3 hours behind, so pool play is not going to be finished until 5:30. They have to they don't do the reseeding by just natural seeding. Mm-hmm. They do it performance based. So if you're pool A and you win your pool, but you only won 21-19, 21-19. Sean's pool F, and he won his pool like 21-18, 21-15. He would then take the top seed because they do it off differential.
Whoa.
And so that takes like half an hour. So then the first round, the pigtails, didn't start until like 6:15.
Yeah, like the sun was going down.
And they were saying that they're going to play a round of pigtails and then start another round like 10 after 7. And the sun set at 7:05.
Yeah.
And we were like, we can't do that. So everyone just sat there and waited for probably like 6 to 8 hours just in the sun and in like 25, 30 mile an hour winds. And then they were like, all right, at like 7:30, they said, okay, you can go home. We'll just start early tomorrow.
And then games started at like 7 a.m. the next day.
Yeah, my match was at 7 in the morning.
That was the first AVP, right?
Yeah.
Like, of anything?
Yeah. And it was, I mean, a lot of it, they had to, like, it was totally thrown together at the last second. Because they didn't, because there were no AVP Tour Series prior to Austin and New Orleans. And so they had to,
so they just had
to figure out a tournament fast. And so it was just like, we need this. Found Panama City, like,
they
slapped
needed
it together.
To qualify.
To make a qualifier Austin.
Got
right.
you.
And so it was like, winged it, totally last minute.
Not necessarily what we're going to see for all the Tour Series events.
Yeah. And so it ended up being, it ended up working out fine. But 5 matches in a day is significant.
Yeah, I remember it was like play, like who's on this court? Because we know we're on next, like on this court, like where are we in this game? And I'd be like, all right, we need to like run, get some food, come back, play. Okay, who's on where? And it was just like in and out of games, like an hour, maybe an hour and a half of like downtime, and then you're straight back in.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I haven't played 5 matches since maybe a few times, but pretty much ever.
World Tour, if you're playing 2, it's like, whoa.
2
Yeah,
is a
you're
lot.
like
Big day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played more than 2 on the World Tour.
We played 3 in Cancun when you played
I
Jake
did.
and Tay. And then they turned you
But we
around at like
played
8 in the morning the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
But we
7 off
played,
in Mexico.
the last match started at like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So like, obviously we had lights, but that was,
Yeah.
they had to start matches at 10 p.m. to pull that off. And we were more gassed than we've ever been in our lives.
Yeah.
And Trevor didn't fall asleep till 5 a.m.
And you guys,
Something like that.
well, chilling out after that adrenaline. I have trouble sleeping after competition too.
We
so
ended
yeah.
at like midnight
Yeah, it's like tough to
against
come
Jake
back.
and Taylor in 3, and everyone's just gassed. Our 3rd match of the day, Olympic qualifying against an American team, and then you're supposed to fall asleep right after, and then wake up. What did we play at 10 a.m. or something?
It was early.
and it was
too
hotter.
early.
It was hotter if you played early, and we just got smashed by 7-1 Semenov.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Standing blocks.
Yeah, he was just lazy like he always is, and he freaking blocked me standing when I hit on 2. He just stopped and just went poof, like down.
It was crazy.
Yeah, he's big. He was because we played Russia. I think we played Russia in the Continental Cup. I didn't play Semenov. He was their first team, so he played against our second team. I had Lehman and Barsuk. was
Yeah,
the team I
that's a
played.
good team.
Yeah, we lost like 19 and 19. It was close.
They were
Pretty
good.
good.
Yeah, they were really good. Barsuk was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I passed one ball, like, because we're warming up serving, and he came in, just set me, and I was like, oh, that was
Like, I'd love to hit
that was delightful. I came in and just like was buying, and I was like, I'm gonna block now.
Partner, can you do that?
Yeah, it was so good. Yeah,
So good.
You have to be, I think that your Instagram presence has been one of the most entertaining things of 2022. Like, you crack me up just talking to you, and then your Instagram, you take it to a whole new level,
just
man.
nonsensical, absolute. Yeah,
Try, do you follow him?
No.
Oh my gosh.
blowing it.
Yeah. You
it's
got-
just so like
I'm very particular with my
short
phone.
short
so
shorts and
funny.
the dude in the gym. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's like
Wait, I did see some stuff actually.
yeah, probably.
Maybe I'm following you.
You crack me up. That's like half the reason. I log on to Instagram for like 3 reasons, like slump quote of the day, anything funny that you put up, and like Nia laughing. That's it.
Right, yeah.
That's about all I need.
Yeah, I lift at like Aaron Rice and Chelsea Rice have like
Okay.
a lovely little like garage gym, and so we started going there, and Jake Rosner like posted something. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like, I'll have a little go at that. So then we like ended up having like a little scoreboard on the whiteboard. Like there's workouts, but then there's like the Instagram like points, and so like we started doing that back and forth, and it kind of just like evolved into like this like just dumb thing. And like my shorts are like the legends, like I have a bunch of legend
Yeah.
stuff. But I have like the three like
Yeah,
the
they have some
short
short
ones.
ones.
And I wear the short ones.
Yeah.
And I love them, but like they're super short, and like when I squat, like they'll disappear.
Yeah, right.
And so like I like just end up getting like abuse like from like Cal Friend and like a couple of my friends back home, and like my strength coach are just like, "What's going on with you, man?" And I'm just like, I'm gonna keep posting it, and if this is yeah,
Any attention's good attention.
absolutely anything.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
In the garage.
It
Took me a few seconds.
Sorry, see, this is one of the
It
things.
took me a few seconds. I was like in the
I don't have all my Americanisms down.
Garage.
Yeah. Garage. Got
Garage.
it.
Garage.
Yeah.
Get the California accent going here.
Yeah, because like on Instagram I did one reel where I like just go like full
Cali
blown
accent?
like full like surfer bro Cali, because
Oh,
there was like,
nice.
you remember there was like the video of the
like that.
surfer.
Yes.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah,
like I hit
bro.
that wave," and I'm like, "Oh," and I was
got
so
pitted.
pitted. Yeah, so like that's like my go-to
I
Cali.
love it, yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm here in the garage. It's so fire." And like I'm gonna put this in the trash, because we don't say trash, it's like the bin for us.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and like all these little Americanisms, like trying to fire them out there. So yeah, I did that, and I'm like, Corny's like, you kind of need to make like a little caricature of like being like an American. But I also have my kilt here, so I'm like, there's an opportunity to maybe go out and play beach volleyball in a kilt.
Oh, for sure.
That'd
You
be
gotta
pretty
do it.
fun. Yeah.
Hey, half the job nowadays is the brand and like social media and stuff.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Like,
if you got something, go with it.
Yeah. It's like, because I'm like trying to find sponsors and stuff now. It's like work.
I
It's
know.
like you're out training all day, like in the gym, and I have all this coaching I do, and I'm like, all right,
The business side.
I have
of
to be
it.
try and be witty tomorrow for like some like video that Travis
Right.
is going to comment on.
Right.
We do a great job of it.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Man, I would die if you, like your first AVP main draw match, you were wearing a kilt.
Well, Courtney was like, look, if you make main draw, we're probably going to have to get Piper.
You might be playing me.
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
I
that-
was,
that
because
seed
I'd be a
might work
super low
out.
seed. Yeah, Courtney was like, look, if you ever make a main draw, like she's like, we need to figure out
You need
like,
to
somebody on
practice
the
at least.
bagpipes. You're
Oh,
coming out in
there
a
you
kill, like you're going
Gosh,
full
I'd love it.
everything. And I'm like, I don't know, but she's like, I
Might be
don't
a little
care.
distracting.
It's like, sure, cool. I'm like, hey, yeah, cool. In my
Well,
kill,
for
like,
sure, stadium court though.
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
You tell DJ Roche,
Yeah.
play your bagpipes or whatever.
Yeah, because when we were in Australia in like Coolangatta, we were training. Our training facility was like at a high school, and my partner was like, "We're playing this one song. It's like Highland Cathedral. It's like big bagpipes, a lot of cymbals, drums, just pounding out this bagpipes like to a high school in Australia. It was
love
great because we were training against teams, and they're like, "What?" And we're like. It was interesting.
It's about time we got a different vibe on the court.
Yeah, just like super angry Scotsman. That's perfect. Instead of like chilled Cali bro.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that problem with the U.S. is, I mean, you have to be American to play on tour, so that's like a really rare vibe that you're gonna. You know,
Yeah.
we have the Brazzies every once in a while.
Yeah.
Somehow get in there, but I think that'd be like, great for our sport.
Yeah.
You should just be.
Just come out,
Straight up.
full out,
guy.
kill, bagpipes, get blasted 2-0.
You want to be the guy where they don't have to know your name. They might. What's his name? I don't know.
Yeah.
You mean Kilt guy?
Yeah,
Oh, of course I know him.
Yeah, he's so angry. He sucks at volleyball, but yeah.
Everybody watches the Kilt guy. That's what sponsors want to hear.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
true.
well, I want my logo on his Kilt.
Well, that was like the short shorts, like in Laguna, like I can't remember if it was Gene or Dane. It was the Selznicks, and they're like commenting, and they're like, this guy here in the short shorts, like just absolutely going on about it. So Courtney's like, you're gonna have
Let
to
it
get
ride.
short shorts. You're gonna have to just
embrace it.
out. And I'm like, like I would like last year I was like wearing like Jake Gibb like 3/4 lines.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
like I had tan lines.
Yeah.
And now it's just like I've just lost like 10 inches of like leg coverage.
Yeah, I can't go too short. I feel like in Hawaii it's just not acceptable yet.
No.
Well, I mean,
They like the longer ones there?
it's growing on everybody. You know, it's above the knee now, but like surfing board shorts back in the day is like below the knee. You know.
Yeah, like board shorts. That's exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up with that. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to be
Well, it's
that
coming.
guy.
It's coming back in because I feel like long shorts were a thing for a long time, and now I feel like it's short shorts or.
Well, I
No,
mean, even-
short shorts are 100%.
Even he's jumping on it. You were doing like
yeah.
squats, like
Yeah,
really
yeah.
hooking him
saw
up.
that.
Yeah, he was going for it.
I mean,
I had to respond.
I do it without even trying because I'm sponsored by Legends.
Yeah.
And I wear their longest ones, but my washing machine here shrinks everything.
Oh yeah.
And then I have big legs, so it's like in the Manhattan, my shorts. I don't think people really noticed, but
Like
they were all wrinkly.
up high.
They were all wrinkled up too.
Yeah.
I was so bummed. I was like, I'm gonna go play a match like this. God damn it! But they were so high up and like all wrinkled.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's
Well,
the
and you get to show off the tat.
yeah. No, it's not bad. It's not a bad look, but
I love it when Legend sends you guys shorter stuff because then Trevor is like, here.
Trevor's bird legs.
Take them.
Oh, he gives them to
So
you.
I,
right?
yeah, I get all Trevor's short Legends.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't show off too much of the chopsticks.
Yeah, he did. Can't be showing that off.
Yeah. Oh,
Was
man.
there a part of you that like was hurt a little bit inside that you're not gonna be able to play Austin, even though you won, earned the bid that was on the line, and
Yeah.
then obviously you and Logan and John have like your own little agreement worked out where Logan's playing with John and
The only thing I've ever said to John was we were sitting in a bar in Atlantic City, and he was like, with him and Fish were just like talking about volleyball, and I just sit and listen. So I've never spoken to John. I have no agreements with him.
yeah.
So if I can steal Logan, I'm stealing him.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I didn't. I don't think there was any part of me that was like thinking about that at all. Like I knew what I was getting into playing with Logan. Like we're planning on doing as much as I'm planning on doing as much as I can with him. And I knew I wasn't I wasn't going to be going to Austin, and my focus was on winning.
Yeah.
Like if I can win the event, I get points, I get money. Like going to Austin would be amazing.
Yeah.
But just going one time to an event, like, oh, I got this wild card, I can go play a main draw one time and just get like smacked. Like
Right.
that doesn't make me a main draw player.
Right.
Like I want to like get points, like go to events, make points, and then like have a partner be like, oh, we can make main draw. We can make main draw together.
Yeah.
Like I can play main draw, and I don't have to go to like I'm still going to go to all these events because like I want to make money. Like I want to get my points. Like it's great to play, but yeah, no part of me was ever like sad.
Yeah.
I think that's the best approach. I mean, put it this way, in my mind, the people who aren't making the main draws are the ones that want the easier bid, want the easier path. The ones that actually believe they're going to make it and that do are like, I'll just put in my time. I'd rather win a tournament, have the feeling of winning a tournament than winning a qualifier, a one-day qualifier, and getting smashed the next morning. Like win a tournament, get in, train for that event, and come in with a plan and be ready. So I think, I mean, we always say it on the show, it's like, you're going to end up where you belong.
Yeah,
Just,
for sure.
You know, win when you're on the court, and you'll end up where you belong. And I mean, for you, you're definitely one of the better defenders, if not the best defender. I haven't watched enough, but like once you find your guy,
Yeah,
you'll be in there.
I mean, I think early last year I got to play with Stafford in like a CBVA. I managed to like drag him out of retirement.
Pull him out of retirement.
I also dragged him up to a AAA. So like he was a C player, I think he was, and I was like, "Come on, man, I can do this for you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
throw
earn
you
you
a
$40.
bone.
Yeah, we're playing CBVA. We're gonna win $40. It's gonna be crazy." And his big thing was like learn how to win. That was like his. He was like learn how to win. Like
Exactly.
and so like I think I won like 4 or 5 CBVAs with like different players. I won 2 in one weekend. That was nice.
That's a good weekend.
Yeah,
That's
it was-
impressive.
Yeah, it was Manhattan on Saturday and Santa Barbara on the Sunday, and yeah, so I was like, that really stuck with me from Stafford, and now I'm like trying to drag him back out.
What was
again.
you brought up a statistic? Was that last show like the 4% thing?
Yeah.
And like it's along the lines of like what I was gonna say is like losing is a habit and so is winning. So like winning tournaments, you have to create that habit, and like you can't do that by just getting smashed down by the pros every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so like the sweet spot of kind
Not
of
the pros, the top teams.
of developing
World pros.
skills and growing is by challenging yourself 4% above what your skill set is capable of. So anything more than that, you're just going to get beat down and discouraged, where you start making losing a habit. And if you're too regularly below that, you're not challenging yourself enough where your growth isn't going to be the learning curve isn't as steep as it could be.
Yeah.
When you hit that like 4%, that's the sweet spot of enough challenge without getting discouraged, hard enough to make you grow, but you're still like able to compete.
Yeah.
I think that's like such a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, because then you can go into main draws now with the intention. I feel like I had this when I was young. I went into AVPs with the intention to win events. Not that I was like, I'm going to win this one. You know, I've never been the one seed, I don't think, until right now. But going into an event just hoping not to lose by too much is a lot different than going into an event. I know how to win tournaments. I know what I got to do, how I got to prepare. Like, it just fully changes your game. And if you do that over time, you know, one of those is going to become the habit and really become your whole career. So I think that's a good path to be on.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Like, and like last year we managed to like Laguna was like the crowning like little end to the year.
Mm-hmm.
We beat Billy and Andy twice in one tournament. And like the first time we beat them, I was like, that was sweet, but you can beat a team once, like it could be like a little bit of luck. And then we played them again in the final and we managed to beat them again. And I was like, well, this tournament like really meant something to me. That one, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So back to back, 2 tournaments, 2 wins with Logie. Well, you had the Florida.
We
you
went to Florida and we did like a big money tour event in Florida, and we lost to Dave Palm and Chris Vaughan in the final. But like, it was good to go and like compete because like we hadn't been competing, and it was nice to like kind of get the travel in and compete and see how it felt. And like I was definitely like trying to figure out some offensive stuff, but then like in the final I was just like got dumb. And like Dave Palm just like clamped on me like
a good
5 times in a row or something like that to finish the game, and I was like, man, I suck. But
back to the drawing board.
But like it was good because I was like, I know I have this like event coming up. Like I need to like there's like a like an end goal. Like there's something to work towards.
Yeah.
Because I felt like in off season like there was like a little couple weeks where I was like, man, like what am I working towards?
Yeah.
So it was good when we actually we played Dave Palm
Yeah.
in was it the semi-final or the
Semis.
in the semis, and yeah, I mean, I might got blocked once or twice, but we won. So
Do you have anyone lined up right now, partner-wise?
still just Logan for like I like my plan is like go to as many as I can with Logan, and if I don't get bids, like it is what it is.
Right.
Are Logan, because Logan and John, is John not playing the lowest tier?
So his plan right now is or from what I've heard is not the tour, yeah. But
Okay.
he's going to Muskegon.
Okay.
Does that mean you can't play in the Pro Series, though? You're essentially taking yourself out of the Pro Series?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But like at the Pro Series, like if I get enough points, like my points can still go up.
Oh, I
nicely.
see. So you can just,
I can go to the tour, get
Qualify.
good points, and then maybe get an auto win or like
with a different partner?
Yeah.
Okay, so build up your points so that you're valuable enough
Yeah.
to get pulled up.
Yeah. So somebody's like, oh,
with
this
someone
guy's
else. Okay.
valuable.
All right.
That's kind of how
There's
I
the
see
strategy.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. So John's doing Muskegon because I think it's like 20 minutes away from Logan's hometown.
Got it.
So like that'll be like a nice little event for them. And then I think Wapaka and Hermosa like fall on the same weekend.
Yeah.
So I'll probably end up needing someone else for Wapaka. But I think I was speaking to like Max Martin, big physical guy. He's actually super like the guy I played with from Scotland.
Okay.
So I think we're looking like that's going to be the play there.
Good serving team.
Yeah, like Max doesn't know it yet, but I definitely rely on my blocker. I got heckled in the final. It's not like I'm in the the baseline. I think he might be the second set. We're like starting a resurgence, and I'm there, and like they're like, you just play with Logan because he carries you, and I'm like, yep, you're so right.
Sounds pretty smart.
Yeah, I mean I'm not dumb. And then I actually served an ace, and I was like, that's so. I'm not gonna turn around and heckle. No, I'm just gonna continue. But like, of course, like I want to play with the best guy I can. Like, why wouldn't I have the guy carry me?
For sure, yeah.
And if I'm a good, like I feel like I'm a good partner. So if he ever needs to be carried at the moment, like I can like take that load on. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, we're gonna win an Olympic gold medal if you play with this guy. Like, you're not gonna do much. You're like, oh no, like no way.
it's like, Raji, you only won gold because of Phil. Like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I partnered with him, to win gold.
Yeah, like that is beach volleyball.
Number one skill in volleyball, partner selection.
Yeah, for sure.
That's half your side outs right there, or half your whole game.
Yeah.
You just took care of it.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, man, we've had you here for a while. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank
Glad
you
to have
for
you on the
having
show, brother.
Thanks for. I feel it's another like rite of passage for me.
Yeah. Now
It's
you're
like I went to Hermosa and I trained with these guys and I've done this and now I've done SANDCAST. Like,
Now you've done SANDCAST.
it could be like the peak now. This is it.
hopefully it's not the peak.
I can fade away.
Well, you're gonna have a kid soon.
Oh, I'm
so
having a
we're-
kid. Okay, so
That'll
yeah,
probably
okay,
be
so
peak.
just above.
yeah.
Yeah, just above this. Yeah. I forgot about the kid. Yeah.
Well, where can people follow your phenomenal Instagram videos?
Yeah, I'm gonna check right now.
So I have actually, my mom and dad blessed me with having the wrong spelling for Sean.
Yeah, I saw that. It confused me.
So I actually, on almost anything, it's just my name, Sean Cook. Like Seain, Cook.
Why do you think they added the I?
So it's Irish Gaelic.
Okay.
And it means John or Ian, which is my dad's name.
Okay.
And my sister, she's called Vary,
Okay.
and that's spelled MH.
Okay.
AIRI, and it means Mary, and that's my mom's name.
Got it.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I definitely thought it was autocorrect.
Yeah.
No, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'll send, like I was applying for jobs and they'll be like, hey Susan, and I'm like, no. my name, because they're like, it's all
That's
correct.
way off.
I had that one time, or like they just take away the I, and I'm like, my email has it, like everything I have is just my name.
You should make it capital, like capital I or something.
Yeah, just so everyone knows. Yeah, but like everything I have is so good. Like it's just
perfect.
I don't need to add on numbers. I don't need to like do like anything
that's
extra.
a good point.
Just my name.
There's no way Seain Cook would be available as a Instagram handle.
Right.
Yeah.
With no I.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's funny though, man. Every time I write a story that your name's in it, whoever's editing it, it's like, hey, you spelled Seain Cook's name wrong though. I'm like, I did not.
I got this one right. Yeah.
I got it right.
Yeah, I get it so much. Like the simplest one is like I'll be in Starbucks and they're like, what's your name? And I'm like, Sean. And they're like, how'd you spell it? I was like, however you want. Like, just however you want. And they're like, no, tell us. And I'm like, all right, SEA. And they're like, O-N. And I'm like, nope. But this would be great. And they're like, oh, how'd you spell it? And I'm like, this doesn't matter. It's not like it doesn't make anyone's life better.
Yeah, that's
forget about it.
My name at Starbucks too.
Yeah.
What they write on the cup every time is just different every time. TRY is the best though.
Yeah.
No one can say try. Like if they read it on the cup, it's tree every time.
Tree.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I get like CI in a lot.
Or they'll just say like the coffee name. They like don't want to say it. They're like, latte?
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Appreciate you coming on, Sean.
Good stuff.
Thank you both for having me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good times.
Thank you.
Shoots.